was younger I worked in a library, and this story has stuck with me for many moons, one of hundreds of tales. So I was quite young, 19F, and someone ran up to main desk in the library and said there was a child being sick. So I ran down to the reference library, where I found a child no more than 6 years old, topless, holding his t-shirt to his mouth. I asked him if he was okay and where were his parents. At this point a man next to the boy on the computer said, "Oh, I'm his dad." Stunned, I asked why he hadn't taken him to bathroom, 6 feet away from the computer, and the dad said he didn't want to lose out on the time on the computer by taking the little boy to the bathroom, so he just told his son to vomit into his t-shirt. It took me a couple of seconds to register what he was actually saying. That he'd rather, instead of taking his son to the bathroom, allow him to be half naked in a public place, vomiting into his t-shirt, because he didn't want to lose out on what he was doing. So I took the kid to the bathroom, but I couldn't comfort him as I would, say, my little brother. I had to stand near him, but with both doors open, allowing him no privacy, because he didn't want me to leave him, but also because I was female and over 18. I couldn't really be alone in a bathroom with a topless child. Trying to talk reassuringly to him from my now COVID-appropriate distance. The dad eventually appeared around 10 minutes later. So to clarify, not only had he allowed the vomiting situation, but he'd also left his 6-year-old unattended with someone who he had no idea who I was. I might not have worked there for all he knew. I had no uniform to identify me as such, and could have potentially been a serial killer. He then popped his head round the corner and said something like, "You okay, champ?" Ada, the dad, informed me that he was done on the computer, and if I was done helping and mollycoddling his kid, then they'd best leave. Honestly, I've never wanted to hit someone in the face with a wet frying pan more in my life. Poor little mite. Had no other top to put on either, and the dad suggested him just putting the wet gross top back on until they could get to the car and he could put the heating on. So I ended up giving him a spare t-shirt from my backpack, as I was meant to be staying at a friend's that night. The dad said it wasn't necessary, but the kid had no t-shirt. Put me off having kids until I stopped being a selfish kid, that was for sure. Horrible people, just an old baby boomer commented. What an A had to do that to a poor kid. That child was probably already sick before Entitled a wipe dragged him to the library. Snoodonuts 5467 replied. Apparently, according to the dad, at the time the mum and other kids had been sick, it was only him, this proglet, that hadn't. That's why he brought him out with him. I really felt for the kid. It's bad enough being poorly at home, let alone in a public place and without the support of your parent. Eat this shit commented. And the Dad of the Year award goes to Jesh. What an a-hole. Did they come by more often, or was that the only time you saw them? I need to know what became of this kid. Snoodonuts 5467 replied. I didn't see them again, unfortunately. Here's hoping his mama was better. I felt so sad for him, I really wanted to hug him. Stabmaster commented. I'm sorry, but if I say that I would literally start pulling out power cords on that and every computer that someone else wasn't using. Then make sure it escalates to the point of police being called, just to make sure CPS has a police report they refer to. Entitled Sister Demands Everything. Not as interesting as other posts, but my little sister is the most entitled person I know. She's 20 years old and relies so much on family, it's ridiculous. They pay for her groceries, she likes to eat very expensive healthy food, they let her use one of their cars because she hasn't gotten her own, they take care of her dog for her, food, walks, vet, etc. They pay for absolutely everything. She has no actual bills because they cover them all. She desperately needs to move out, but I don't think she'd make it. And yes, 20 is young, but she's acting like an immature 14-year-old and she needs a rude wake-up call. So this girl is insisting that she gets a special dress to wear as my maid of honor. And not just a different color or slightly different dress from the other bridesmaids, but she wants to be in a dress as fancy as mine. Because it's her big day. And sure, she says that jokingly, but you can tell that there is a part of her that thinks that. With most people I wouldn't be that annoyed, but she also mooches off of our parents and demands they buy her absolutely everything. She wants to go to a Bible school in another country and wanted my parents to pay for it. Thing is, she already did a Bible school, she just didn't finish because of drama and unhealthy relationships. They paid for that one already. She refuses to get a normal job. She currently works for my parents but isn't super reliable or consistent. The only time she actually works hard is when she is volunteering, doing mission work. She's otherwise super lazy. She constantly complains about money and will jokingly ask me for money. She then gets mad when I refuse, but I'm sorry, I work my ass off for my money and I have real-life expenses. This Christmas, I am not getting presents for anyone. My family is large and quite frankly I can't afford it. I have a wedding and life to save up for. Normally I love giving big gift packages, usually worth about $200, so I'm definitely not doing that for a while, to save money. Well, my sister is mad because since she got one last year and one for her birthday and she feels entitled to another one this year. She's acting like an actual child about it. I get being disappointed, but you don't have the right to be mad that someone can't afford to get you something. She has asked my partner for money for a belly button piercing, while she's trying to save up for a trip. A trip that she was expecting other people to help with, while she was just staying at home, chilling all day. She got annoyed at him when he said no. She is currently trying to save up for a trip and keeps asking me to buy her clothes because she quote needs to be cute. She will often act like she's joking about asking for stuff, but everyone knows she's not actually joking. Makes me angry that my parents put up with it all and give in to her, just because they don't want the drama. Basically she acts like she has the right to everyone else's money, but she won't work to get her own. She's lazy and wants to be the center of attention always. Even on my own wedding day. Edit, I told my sister that she will wear the dress I chose or is out, she just likes to throw a fit. I also told her she could wear a different dress but only if I chose it, and then showed her the ugliest dress I could find. She was not amused. I am picking my battles and have tried to work this out to have the least amount of drama, because any way we do this will cause some issues. I do want her as my mom, I just don't want the drama that comes along with it. Honestly, she isn't ballsy enough to be a bitch in front of 100 people on the day. She won't want to look bad. She just wants attention and wants to feel special, as if being maid of honor isn't special enough. The situation is complicated. I do want my sister to be my maid of honor. I'm not just giving it to her because she's being a brat. I just don't want her drama, so trying to balance that is hard. Having her at my wedding is a last-ditch attempt to fix my relationship with her before it's too late. She hasn't been getting her way when it comes to the wedding, and I'm hoping that it shows her that it's not always about her. I also obviously didn't share everything about my relationship with her and with my family because it doesn't all pertain to being entitled, so some of my decisions won't make sense to you all. But trust me, I know what I'm doing when it comes to navigating situations to do with her. There is also a lot more stuff that she does, but it's less entitled stuff and just ridiculousness. She gets away with a lot of crap because she's the family favorite and she's hella attractive. If anyone wants more, just let me know. I have so many stories tbh, and not just about her. My whole family is nuts.